Hello there, Surfrom17 once again. This is my Batman Arkham Knight Batgirl DLC, A Family Matter Part 1. I've been making gaming videos now for about 4 years, putting them up on the internet and talking through them. So let's put on a nice fake pitch to my voice and fill your head with false promises and empty platitudes and plow through this shit like every other day. Only not, because that's not really what I do. So, I'm not going to lie to you guys, do not buy this DLC. It is really that simple. I'm immensely disappointed with it, but before I go into why, I'm going to go into a few of the minutiae of this particular run I'm doing here. So, there's no conventional difficulty in this. Watch my life bar, by the way. You see that just then? I just took damage. If you can tell me why, I would love to know. This is a no damage run, because there's no difficulty, so instead I decided to do it so that I never get hit. And I never get hit. However, there are moments in this game where I take damage and I don't know why. And it happened about 3 times. And to try and make myself feel a little better, I re-recorded this fight and I didn't use the tag takedown. And I ended up beating it without the life bar turning up. And then at the end, I swapped to Robin and the life bar turns up again. So my theory is this, folks. I think you can take damage, or the characters themselves can take damage when you're not playing as them, and when you swap between them, it updates the life bar and makes it look like you just took damage when you haven't. And the reason I know you haven't is because you're completely invincible during tag takedowns, and that is when this error, or whatever it is, rears its ugly head every single time. And I find it absolutely insane, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm not, because it's the only thing I can explain other than the game is fucking broken. Because it doesn't make any sense. But the game is beautiful, as you can see. This DLC is available to people with the Season Pass, and it'll be out in a week for about 5 to 6 quid. And for what you get, guys, it's as overpriced as many other pieces of DLC that you've bought this year, or any year. This content is no longer than the one that was available for Arkham City, and it's a very similar cost. So, as much as I would like to chastise this title for what it's done, bear in mind here that all DLC as an economy right now is pretty fucking abysmal. Like, it's always short, it's always overpriced, and you're almost always disappointed with it. There are rare exceptions, but this is not one of them. I read a bunch of press papers before this came out because I've been jonesing to play Batman. That this was going to have a bunch of supervillains in it, that this was going to have collectibles in it, side missions in it. It was going to be this self-contained piece of content that you could explore playing as either Batgirl or Robin. And I think they must have confused some of their information because there is 2 supervillains, which I suppose is supervillains. It warrants the S, it's not singular. But that's literally Harley Quinn and the Joker in the exact same fight. Then the side quests is one side quest which involves doing some mini-games around the area. There's about 4 or 5 mini-games that unlock some dialogue that explains how this park came to be. I did it in less than 10 minutes. And then the collectibles are literally... There were more collectibles inside of the environments, like Panessa Studios, than there are in this entire piece of DLC. I think there's maybe 15 collectibles, 20 collectibles. It took me around 40 minutes to beat this content my first time, and then it took me about half an hour to finish off everything else you could do in it. And I'm sorry guys, but I was so excited for it, and maybe this is just my bias that's infecting my sentiments right now, but I think that's a disgrace. And then other things reared their head as well, which you might see in this if you watch clearly. Just anomalies that didn't make any sense, and the moment I realised this wasn't developed by Rocksteady was when I did a cape stun on somebody, and when I tried to follow up with a beatdown, Batgirl attacked somebody in a completely different direction. That only ever happens in Arkham Origins. Never happens in the Rocksteady combat systems. Never happens. The way I play, it never happens. It happened in this, it happens in Origins. So I did a little digging online. This wasn't developed by Rocksteady, folks. This is developed by the people who made Arkham Origins in Warner Brothers Montreal. So all the issues that I had with it, with the combat dropping inputs, with the combat not working as well as it could, takedowns missing, prompts not even scripting right, I did a backclaw and it missed. The only time a backclaw will miss is if someone's running at you with a red bats over their head to tell you that he's doing the running attack. And just further anomalies that were like, this doesn't feel as good as the other game, and I don't know why. And it turns out, it's because it's made by an inferior team. And I wish I could say this in a way that's not going to sour your perception of it, because did I have fun with this piece of content? Yes, I did. Is it overpriced? Yes, it is. Is it too short? Fuck yeah. And that's coming from somebody who defended the story packs, which were literally 10 minutes each at a push. But there are some interesting new mechanics here using features that were implemented in Arkham Knight. Right now we're just going to be taking these people down. These enemies will move randomly. I always use the Batclaw on the final enemy, because then he doesn't shoot you. But I had a run here where two of the people, after I took the first guy down, stood together and I did a double takedown. So it's all very sporadic in their paths. But the meat of this DLC is saving hostages. There are 3 hostages to save. After each hostage is saved, you go and defuse a bomb. And on the 3rd hostage, you go and fight the final boss. It's literally that short. However, they do give you some choice in how you want to approach it, which is quite interesting. So I'm going to go directly for what I believe to be the hardest fight in the DLC. It is a massive scrap against a bunch of dudes, about 50 dudes with no checkpoint. And the only reason it's difficult is because the combat in this DLC does not work as well, or as intuitively, or as interestingly as it did in Arkham Knight. Just like the story packs, for some reason they've stripped out mechanics that make the new combat system really fun, and I don't know why. You can no longer do directional counters that throw people, you cannot break weapons, you cannot do the ground takedown where you jump into the air and you take down multiple people. Like, you can barely do anything, and you only have the explosive gel, the Batclaw, and boomerangs. So you can't even do any of the more interesting, like freezing people or electrocuting people. And I don't know why they have these fantastic animations and these great additions to the combat system when they don't let you use them. Like, you're going to see the most of the combat on here is going to be me just punching people and doing takedowns and jumping over them and countering them, because everything else is just not really worth doing because there's just not enough of it. And as much as that's effective and you can do that if you want to, I like being able to mix it up, and I hate the fact that there are these moves that exist in this series now that you can't do in this content. In its defense, which has to be said, which is a really great touch other than the fantastic visuals and the awesome lighting right now, is you can use the pick up off the ground with right trigger and B, which is my favourite move in Arkham Knight. So she has access to that, yet she can't do some of the other fundamentals, so it's this really disjointed appraisal of Batman combat, and I don't understand it at all. But if you approach this carousel, it's going to trigger the fight, and your priorities are medics. So the first thing you want to do is you want to Batclaw this medic, put him down, and then build your combo, and then hit him with the takedown to get rid of him. I think Batgirl's kind of slow. Someone on Twitter said that she was really fast, so either he's playing a different game to me, or mine and his idea of speed is different in this game. Because the amount of times I've pressed X while I have momentum to punish a guy trying to punch me, and I've been hit because the animation's been so slow he's punched me, is more than any other mistake. So a little advice from me from doing this: counter. Get rid of the knife guy and do the counters. Don't try and rely on jumping over people. Don't try and rely on beating them with the punch. Just commit to the counter. Once again, Arkham Origins. It is the game where I get punched the most trying to jump over people instead of countering, and it happened here a lot. Doesn't work that way in Arkham Knight. I got hit maybe 1 or 2 times where I deserved it, and then the rest it didn't happen, because it can synchronize in such a way that you can almost not dodge certain attacks, but it's very rare. And I didn't have too much of that in the campaign for this game, but I had a ton of it in this, and it speaks volumes of whatever the difference is between the combat design in this and in the Rocksteady team, the difference between the Montreal team and the Rocksteady team. There is a polish and a nuance and a precision that is lacking, and they've managed to capture it again, expertly. And I could feel it, and I wasn't having fun, because I could tell that I wasn't having full faith in my ability to fight. And it's really annoying, because the combat in Arkham Knight is probably the sharpest it's been, and there are still those moments where it betrays you a little bit, but they were nowhere near as frequent. And this is a simple fight, and if we were doing this with Batman in the main game, this would be an easy fight. But here, the amount of times, like, I wish I could keep them in just to show you them, and I was tempted to put like a montage of them, but where I have a full combo, I go to punch somebody, and she doesn't dash towards them, she just punches, and I lose my combo. Like, she punches as if I didn't have it to begin with. Like, really strange occurrences. But make sure you get rid of the knife guy, because he's the only person you'll have to do a different counter for, and make sure you get rid of the medic, because he will electrify people. Everybody else, it's do whatever you want, but just do not have any faith that she's going to do anything that isn't florid and incredibly just theatrical, because she doesn't have any quick attacks. She's all, oh, I'm going to spin over here and do kicks into your face and slow motion at awkward times. Like, so many weird things. Like, there's one where she kicks them in the face, and she stands afterwards and you can't do a thing. You just can't do ult. You have to wait for the game to give you control, and every time you'll have 3 dudes waiting to try and counter you. It's really strange. But now that you've done this, put on your Batman toothpaste, blow up the vat of liquid that's drowning the security guards or the police officers, and then we're now going to be called to the first bomb. Robin will tell you that he's found a bomb, and now it's our duty to go and stop it. So the bombs generally work identically. You will be rushed to go to an area. When you get there, a timer will appear, and you'll either have to do a fight, or you'll have to just go and defuse it, and then there will be a fight. This is another one of the encounters where I went into a tag takedown and I took damage. So I did this fight again, so you'll see there was a little bit of a transition there as I was gliding, because I went earlier today and re-recorded this fight. And I didn't have to, and I probably shouldn't, because you could have seen that I take damage when I'm not doing anything wrong, but I've kept in a little snip of it at the end, because I've also got a clip of me doing the first fight without using the takedown and not getting that weird damage. But this is another standard encounter. Get rid of the medic. For some reason, Batgirl can't pick up explosives like Batman can. She can't pick up bats like Batman can. Pretty much some of the most fun stuff they added in Arkham Knight is missing from this DLC. And it doesn't make any sense. It's incredibly confusing. But on the left hand side, you'll notice how... Do you see how there's that bat symbol that symbolises I can do the dual takedown? Well, watch this. It's on the screen telling me to do it. When I press to do it... Oh no, it's the wrong fight, my bad. Once again, I'm losing my marbles. But anyhow, there's some footage I had where I press it to go into the tag, it swaps character and drops my combo. Doesn't do the takedown animation, just drops my combo and swaps my character. And I have the bat symbol vibrating, I have a combo of about 40. The game straight up just fails. And I don't know why. I just don't know why. But this is the beginning fight done a little differently. So, what you're going to see here, you might actually see an example of me trying to do a team takedown and it failing as well. So, I get grabbed by that guy. I do the awesome new addition of the backwards beatdown to build your combo and get him off you. Couple of counters. The cape's done into a beatdown. She can still do the shield takedown, and she can also do the fancy jump away from the guy you ran up, which I hardly ever do because it's just really superfluous, but it is cool if you make it happen. But just tripping him, back and forth, taking out the guy with a weapon, quick takedown on him, big kick on that guy. Everyone's on the ground. If we could do the A-B takedown here, it would be fantastic. We could get rid of a dozen, but you can't. So, let's see if we can see that. There's 2 more guys left. I kick him, I do that on him, and I take that guy down and watch now. Left bumper. After this. You see? What the fuck happened? And then I'm just like, did that really just happen? And I stand there with Robin, I'm like, fuck this. You can finish him off. Go on, Barbara. Get him good. And she does. But there is the combat failing. And then this is me taking damage during a double takedown. So watch my life. Like, what the fuck, dude? So weird. So stupid. But thank you for watching, guys. Please don't buy this DLC, and if you do, get it at a discount, and I will see you in the last 2 parts of it. You take care now.